Marriage is not a casual relationship. Marriage is not a casual relationship. It's a serious business. That is why we keep talking about making the right choice, making an informed decision before you even start. Marriage is not a casual relationship. It is a covenant made before an altar. It is important that you understand it before making that decision. So again, today we come into another discussion. Before you say I do, check this. Let's conclude what we started the other time. Before you say I do, check this. There are values. We talked about personal values. We talked about important things, checklist, things to look out as you're making your marriage decision. When you start your married journey, there are things that you have to look out for. There are important things to look out for. The essence of this discussion is many people don't know what to look out for. Many people don't know what to look out for. So they have met the person, that person they want to settle down with. They are already discussing, they're already talking, but in that discussion, the vital things to discuss are not discussed. That is the essence of this discussion. There are vital things to be discussed when you start dating, when you start courting. There are important things to discuss. Many times you discover that these things weren't discussed, because when you now find out, there are a lot of things that we are finding out in relationships. When people have problem in marriage, there are questions you ask them, and you find out that many things were not discussed. Hello, how are you doing? Good to have you today. How is your family? Welcome into our discussion this morning. So we are still on before you say I do. Let's conclude the discussions. They are very important. Do you know why? There are many people that in the time of their dating, they don't even know what to discuss. They don't know the things to talk about. They just hang out, they take some drinks, they take some snacks, they are having a cool time, but the important things are not discussed. And they are about to embark on a lifetime journey. Some people don't know that marriage is a lifetime journey. They think that, okay, if you get me angry, I will just stop. No, that means you're not matured. You're not ready to get married. Understand first that marriage is a journey and a lifetime journey. Number one, marriage is a covenant. Covenant means you are bonded together. Number two, the covenant majorly, many times, especially Christian marriages, are made before an altar. Every church has an altar. You stand before that altar, and who is a witness? God is there. We need to understand these things. We can't keep avoiding them. Some of them might be hard discussions, but this discussion, when they are avoided, people make mistakes. People dabble into a lot of issues that give them trouble much later. You're welcome, every one of you, joining us this morning. So let's get in the discussion proper. Before you say I do, if you have not said, a lot of people probably have said I do as we speak, but there are still some people that are trying to make that decision. So these are the things that we are talking about that you need to look into. There are important values you must check. Don't just hang out and take drinks and eat snacks and chew stuffs, and then you don't talk about important things. Many times silence is agreement, right? Silence is consent. So when the other person might even know what to talk about, but if you're not discussing it, she will assume, okay, everything is fine, let's go, everything is fine. And then you now enter into the marriage and you're bumping into a lot of things. You're discovering a lot of things every single day. A lot of things, shocking things, surprises, discoveries every day. But they can be avoided when you look into the other person's eyes and say, see this and see that. Are we good to go with this? Hi, How are you doing? Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome, esoteric. Welcome. How is your family? How is everyone around you? Okay. Where are you joining us from? Good to have you all here. Remember to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share them. All right. So, if you have not made that decision, a lot of people have made their marriage decisions. Some people are already married and they are hurting in the marriages. And we don't want more hurts. We don't want more people hurting in their marriages. So we want to discuss these things so that you know what to do. It is not enough to just find the right person. It is not enough for you to have chemistry. We communicate very well, we relate fine, we gel, all those languages. It doesn't just end there, because marriage is not casual. It is not things of boys and girls. It's for matured minds, because when the chips are down, you will understand it is for matured minds. So these things that we are discussing are rudiment, elements, things that you have to look at. Are they there? If they are not there, can I cope without them? Or are there things I need to begin to put in place before we say I do? Because once you say I do, especially as a Christian, you see all this divorce, separation, they are not from God. They are not permitted. It is not anywhere permitted by God. It is not his will. So if you're a child of God, if you're a Christian, if you're a believer, you want to do the will of God. You want to do what God approves. So start from the beginning and do it to the end. It is not, you're not opening it to, okay, if it doesn't suit me, I will just go out. If I don't like it, I'm going to just stop. No. That's why marriage is for matured minds. So this discussion, it is important. If you are married already, you also need to, mentor others, teach others, learn more. If there were things you didn't know before you got married, learn more things and be a help, be an extension to build many families, build many relationships, build many people. A lot of people are hurting in marriages. There are people that are hurting. You don't want them to hurt. So get knowledge and reach out to people. Please subscribe to our channel. All right. Good to have all of you this morning. So the other day we discussed on spiritual alignments. We said, how are you aligned spiritually? Are you guys having the same faith? Do you have the same discussion? Because if you don't know this part, then it begins to hurt in the house. When you're married, one person can be praying, the other person says, you're disturbing me. I mean, why are you disturbing me? But then if you had discussed it from the beginning, you will know that, I don't want somebody that will be praying when we are married though. So you can check it and see if it suits you. We said, are they Christians? Are they just religious people? Is the other person just being religious, calling God's name nicely, being polite about, do you know the depth of this person's conviction? How far can this person go with you in your faith? You might not be in the same faith, I understand. You might not even be in the same religion. Do you agree to the tenets of the religion or the faith? Are you having agreements? These are hard discussions. People avoid them. People don't want to talk about them. All right, they avoid them because they don't want to. No, I just don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to hurt Harry. I don't want to make him sad. I just want to be nice. And then you're coasting just on the periphery. You're just being shallow in your dealings. You're not getting to the root of it. But when you get to your home, you start finding out that there are disagreements. What's causing the disagreement? These are things that you neglected. Ignorance is not an excuse. Because when you have gotten into a home, you are now married. You are now looking forward to building that home. You're bringing forth children and all that. So anything that you did not handle now, when it begins to happen, the children might have to be affected. These are things that you want to avoid. You want to avoid having a home where there are constant conflicts. You want to avoid having a home where you are always explaining. You want to avoid having a home where you want to run away from. Some people, when they close work, they don't want to go home because they are afraid of the tension. They are afraid of the pressures. They are afraid of all manner of things that are happening at home that they cannot face. But you can actually have a peaceful home, a very comfortable place. And you know that home is not about the location. Home is not about the accessories or the facilities or everything that you have, the ambience. No, home is the peace. Home is the peace of mind. Home is the rest that you get when you come to a place you call your home. All right? Home is the joy that you share with other people around you. Okay, so we said in the other day, in our last video, are you spiritually aligned? Are you saying the same thing when it comes to your faith or religion? We also asked in the other video, does this other person have integrity? What is the person's level of honesty? Can you share something secret, something deep, and the person will be able to keep it? Or is it when the person is angry, he or she will just open, bring everything in the open in the name of, I was very angry, so I said it. Did you check those ones? Is this person truthful or consistent? The behavior, is it a consistent thing? Can you trust this person's behavior? You have to look at all these things. You have to look at them. They are all important. Can you trust that this person will behave in a certain way? And then you say, no, I don't need to bother myself. This is who this person is. This is who he is, or this is who she is. These are the things that you have to look at critically in making that decision. We said again, what about respect? And we said that respect is almost like oxygen to men. A man loves to be respected. Yes. So the person that there are feigned respect, cosmetic respect, respect that looks artificial, or when you start the journey, when it is still fresh, the person can respect you because everything is looking good. What about when things become, there are challenging situations and things are difficult? Can this person still respect you? Will you still be adored by this person? These are things that we are looking at. So are you seeing all these things? Because when you can't see it and you are just moving and then make that decision, there might not be room to correct what you didn't see, especially if that person is not teachable. So we said, is this person respectful, especially during conflicts? Are you getting what we are saying? These are the things that we discussed last time. We talked about communication and emotional maturity. There are some people that are not emotionally mature enough to communicate when things get rough. So we talked about some people that uses silent treatment on their spouse. When things get rough or when there is conflict or misunderstanding, they will now begin to treat their spouse in a very disrespectful way. They can no more talk. They go silent. They go blank. So that does not mean this person is emotionally matured, because emotional maturity is having that understanding that you're dealing with another human being, whatever be the case. All right. So we talked about values, financial values. What's this person's financial value? Is it a person that understands financial planning, or somebody that appreciates the fact that we need to plan financially? We need to prepare ourselves this way or that. Financial values. Is he a person or is she a person that has financial values? Does this person believe in savings or investments? Can this person delay gratification so that you can achieve a project? These are the things that we discussed last time. And we said again, look out for someone that has a sense of purpose. Not the person that you're going to be driving. There are some people, you have to drive them. You practically have to drive them to take any step. Any single thing that they will do, you have to drive them, you have to encourage them, you have to push them, So is this person having a sense of purpose and direction? Does this person believe I have something I am here for? I am here to make a contribution. I need to make a contribution. Does this person have a sense of purpose? Or is he or she somebody that you're going to be driving? You have to keep reminding this person, okay, take this course now. Okay, see how this thing will help you now. You have to be explaining all the time for this person to agree with you that this has to be done. And when this person begins to do this thing, is he a person or is she a person that will start a thing and be consistent until the purpose is achieved. Because some people, they will start a thing. Yes, they started it, but along the line they will stop, and they will have several reasons. There are always excuses, excuses, excuses. So these are things that you need to look out for. These things are very important. We said these discussions are hard discussions, but they need to be done. If you really want to have a home, a real home, there are things you must look at from the beginning. There are things you have to take care of from the beginning so that you will have a home filled with peace. So lastly, we said in our last video, can this person forgive? Forgiveness is one of the things you should look out for in a spouse when you're intending to settle down. All right? Is he or is she a person that can easily forgive? Some people find it difficult to forgive. If you marry someone that cannot forgive, it is a wahala, serious problem, very serious one. So check out, can this person forgive? Because there is definitely a time you will offend this person, intentionally or not. So when you offend a person, you want this person to forgive you, just like you also will grant forgiveness to someone that offends you. So if this person is not forgiving, it becomes a problem, because anybody that is not forgiving is always carrying hurts, is always feeling offended, is always having negative emotion, negative energy. And you don't want such energy around you. You want someone that is loving. So some people are loving at the initial time. They are very loving, they are romantic, they have all that it takes, they give you a very good ambience, but when you get closer, it is not the same. That is why we are saying, have you been able to find out that this person can do all these things, or value all this? Are they this person's value? Are they his values? Are they her values? What you say call values, are they your spouse's value, your intended? What you call value, are they the other person's value? Is this person humble? You see, there are some people that cannot tell you I am sorry. Yes, some people, and you will not know at the beginning. When something happened, they will just explain it away. Some people, they will explain it away, they will explain the circumstance, explain. It is good, very nice explanation, but this person cannot tell you I am sorry. If you marry someone that cannot tell you I'm sorry, how are you going to cope? Is this person humble enough to acknowledge wrongs? Okay, I'm sorry I did this wrong. Okay, I didn't get it. Okay, I missed it at this point. Is the person humble enough to say, I am sorry? Let me tell you, there are people that can't say I am sorry. And you need to find it on time. Because how do you know? When this person is always defending himself, always defending herself, always giving you nice reason why something happened. Is this the nice? And then at the end of the day, he wants you to agree with him that these reasons are potent enough. Or he can even ask you to forget about it. Forget about it. All right? So today, let's talk about family orientation. Family orientation. What are this person's values when it comes to family? You see, when we talk about values, we are talking about things that are important to you, things that you hold dear. And if the thing that you hold dear is not dear to another person, then there's going to be conflict. All right? How do they view roles? Parenting and extended family. Before you get married, you have to find out what your spouse, your intended, the person you want to get married to, what do you think about parenting? Some people are not interested in parenting. They are not getting married, having children. It's not what they think. It's not what is in their hearts. So if you didn't discuss it, if you didn't have the discussion from the beginning and you get married, when you now get married, you are looking forward to, and this is telling you, excuse me, hello, It's not what I came here to do. I'm not interested in that. In fact, let's leave it for now. And you're surprised. Are you serious? Are you for real? You don't want to. Are we not supposed to have children? He tells you, no, 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 I'm not interested. As a matter of fact, we have a recent development. Someone just called in to say, see my frustration. I married this guy for this is their fourth year. This year is their fourth year, and this kind of discussions weren't handled. It didn't exist, and for the 4 years they've been married. They have, you understand, they have their time as husband and wife and all that, but the guy is not interested in raising. So at some point the lady had to ask him, what is the problem? Why are you not, we are husband and wife and you're not making efforts to? He said, I am not interested in fathering any child right now. Oh, and this is 4 years, and this lady is hearing it by the 4th year of their marriage. That this is when she's hearing the guy saying, I am not interested to father any child now, for 4 years. So he's not interested to raise a family, and then they'll be married. This guy, the lady is shocked. So as at this moment we are still handling the case, she is very shocked that this guy is not interested in raising a home. So why didn't you tell me that you don't want to raise a home yet? Okay, if you didn't want to raise a home the 1st year of our marriage, I can understand. 2nd year, but this is 4 years. You're not even making any, you don't even want. The guy tells her, I am not ready. So when are you going to be ready? He says, I don't know. Are you seeing the frustration? He says, I don't know. I don't know. When I'm ready to raise a home, I will tell you. And the lady says, so why did you now marry me? Why am I here? You just married me and you don't want us to raise children. And you know, as ladies, there are times it becomes more difficult. Why didn't you mention it at the beginning? And the guy says, I didn't want to lose you. I just wanted to marry you so that I can be having free sex. All right? He didn't want to have sex outside because he will feel bad, he will feel condemned, he will feel guilty as a believer. But now that he's married, he has the freedom to have sex. Fine. But he doesn't want to have children. And this is not going well with the lady. It is a very big conflict. It's not going well with the lady at all. And then he nicely packaged it and hid it and didn't bring it open, did not discuss it. Deceived this lady into thinking that, okay, when we get married, we start raising a family, we start giving birth to children and all that. And this lady is preparing herself for everything. But the guy is not going that way. All right? Are you seeing what we are talking about? These are hard discussions. Why didn't you discuss it when you were dating? Why didn't you bring it up? What do you think? How many kids are we going to have? When are we starting? Do you think we should start having kids immediately after getting married? Or do you think that we should wait? These are discussions that should be done while you are dating. These are discussions that you must have to bring up while you are dating. You ignore it. You think it doesn't matter. Why will you think it doesn't matter? You are not in the other person's heart. Somebody has something in his heart or in her heart, you're not bringing it out. When the person now says it becomes a problem. Are you understanding what I'm saying now? So some people are not, they are not wired into parenting. They are not even ready for parenting. They are not even children, they are not into the children thing. And then you're a family person. You want family. You want to have children. You're envisaging, you're dreaming, you are longing when your house will be filled with kids and they will be running around and they will be giggling and laughing and all that. And this other person is not interested. As a matter of fact, it's not in her mind. It's not his idea for the moment. How are you going to cope? Do you know it is at that time of your discussion, your dating? It is at the time of dating, the time of courtship, that you bring up such issues, and when you talk about them, you see how the person's opinion, the person's point of view, if it does not agree with yours, you can be able to make an informed decision. All right? How do they view their roles? You're going to discuss how are we going to run the family? Because everybody has roles. Many times in family, one of the things that have issues in marriage, one of the things that brings issues in marriage is when there are roles, unclear roles, when there are roles that are not clarified, unclarified roles. So you see someone that is stepping into a place that is not her own, and then there will be conflict. So you're going to spell out the roles. Okay, I'll be taking care of this. I'll be handling this part. This is how we're going to run our finances. This is what we're going to do. You put them all down. All right? How do you view your roles? What do you think are going to be? How you answer all those questions. You ask the other person and get the answers to the question. What about the extended family? How are we going to handle in-laws? Because many times, especially in African settings, it's not just two of you. Because this lady had siblings before she came to you. You also have your own family before you got married. So that you now got married does not mean that your families have been thrown away. No. It is just that you're raising a new family. So there has to be a discussion. How are we going to handle our extended families? What happens? What about visits? When mom wants to visit, what are we going to do? How do we handle in-law visits? How do we handle welfare, giftings, all stuff? You discuss them. There are many families that are being broken apart by in-laws, extended families. A lot. Their issues are extended family in-laws issues, because the mom, the guy's mom, want to show up, want to visit, and she visits unannounced. She visits when she wants, and it might not be convenient for these people, for this woman to visit at the time she visited, but the lady wouldn't know how to handle it. She has to adjust, or she has to find a way to accommodate the unannounced visits. You see, in-law problem is one of the problems that separate marriages. Yes, we see this all the time. So someone just bump into your family, comes into your home without announcing that he's coming. The most they can do is to just call you once and tell you they're on their way. And so you're trying to manage things at home, and suddenly you have a visitor. And now, because this visitor is your husband's visitor, your husband's mom, you don't know what to do. You cannot handle it. So you have to find a way to adjust, just not to have a problem. Or maybe it's your own mom that wants to come, or that have a very important pressing need that needs to be attended. You don't know how to do it. All right? But these are things that should be discussed from the beginning. How do we allocate resources? How do we give to these people and give to these other people, so that, it will not look impartial. It will not look like we give to some and neglect the other. How do we handle visits, in-law visits? Our siblings, some persons have siblings. You still have younger siblings in school. So when the school is on vacation, they want to come around and visit you. So when they come around to visit you, there might be some things that are not convenient or comfortable to the lady. How is she going to cope? But if there were discussions on table, both of you will be saying the same thing. Both of you will be addressing the issue. But if they were not handled, if you hadn't discussed them earlier, and such situations start coming up, it will begin to bring conflict, because you will say some things and the other person doesn't like what you said. Are you understanding what we are saying here? So many issues need to be addressed early before they happen. These are the time to address it when you are still dating, when you have not said, yes, I do. Because if you discuss it and the other person's perspective does not rhyme with yours, or you don't like what he's saying, you can say, no, 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 I don't want it this way. And it begins to be something that you cannot agree with, you can go your ways. So you won't start having hurts when you are married. Okay, what about patterns that they carry from their background? Some people are coming from different background, different family background, all right, where there are some kind of patterns. So if you cannot, during your courting period, look at those patterns and discuss them, when they start showing up in your own home, it will begin to bring conflict, serious conflict. In fact, some of those things are very scary. All right, I met a couple that had issues with background, background pattern, family patterns. So the man she is married to, they have some kind of disease, sickness running in their family. And when a person gets to a particular stage, this sickness starts. So this lady is well aware of this pattern. It's always happening, but she is already afraid that it will catch up with her, it will also affect her. All right, and because of the fear of the impending sickness that will happen and all that, she was now struggling. Her attitude changed, her mood changed, everything. She was now struggling, but she will not communicate her struggle. And the man noticed that there was a problem, but she couldn't talk about it. And then every time that this man approached her and said, I noticed there is a change. Something is not squaring up here. You're not telling me something. What is going on? The lady will say, nothing. I'm fine. I'm just not feeling fine. So what is the problem? Why are you not feeling fine? She will not say. And this man got curious and began to make inquiry, began to call home, began to, until he discovered the truth. It wasn't that this thing is a problem that cannot be handled, but he was now hurt. He was now feeling so sad that this lady couldn't share it with him. And then that is another problem. Are you seeing? If this lady has shared, see my experience, see what I fear, see my past, see what is, so that you will see if this man is comfortable with it, and then they can put their heads together to see how to bring solution to the problem. But she was afraid of discussing it. And now it is already escalating a situation in the home. The man had to find out himself. And he's offended that the lady, he's looking at it like the lady is being secretive, is not opening up, is not saying things, is hiding things from him. So it is now a problem upon problem. A problem upon problem. You see what we are talking about? When you bring things in the open at the beginning, it can be handled, because everybody has different things that they are thinking about, or they have experienced. People are on a journey. You have to bring out those things, so that if you hide it, definitely it will still come out. And when it comes out, it might come out in a way that you didn't expect. All right, there are expectations that when they are not spoken, it brings issues. Unspoken expectations often cause deep marital tension. Unspoken expectations brings deep marital tension. Some people don't talk about what they expect, what they want to see, and then they will just keep quiet. At the end of the day, it will now begin to raise conflict in the family, serious conflict. You have to talk about some things, bring it out, because if the other person has to make inquiry, has to do some findings, and now decided to and was able to see the thing that you're hiding, it brings up a serious problem. Now there is another thing of self-control. That's one of the things you should look out for. Do your spouse or your intended, is he or she exhibiting some level of self-control, emotional, sexual, and behavioral self-control? Emotional self-control, is this person prone to outbursts of anger, outbursts. Every little thing this person flares up and begin to, scream or talk on top of his or her voice, raising voice when talking. Have you noticed such thing? What are you doing about it? Put it on the table and discuss. Hey, I have noticed that you raise your voice when you're talking. What is it about? Why are you raising your voice when you talk? What is the problem? What triggers it? Let's look at it. Let's know how to handle it. All right? Look at it. They are not things that you should just ignore, sweep under the carpet, and behave as though they don't exist. Oh, you sweep it under the carpet while dating. They will come out on top of the carpet in your house when you're married. Don't sweep lack of self-control under the carpet. Find out what can be done. Some people, they don't have emotional self-control. They flare up. Some other people in their own area is sexual self-control. Are they self-controlled sexually? You know what I mean? It hurts most. It hurts most when you're married and your spouse becomes unfaithful to you. Your spouse becomes unfaithful to you. It's not something that you want. So, but you have to find out early enough. You have to look for it and see, ask questions, talk about it. How do you feel about the opposite sex? How do you feel? How does it trigger you? How do you cope when I am not there, or when you see this kind of, how do you feel about it? What happens? I know a friend that the husband have flair for fair ladies. Fair ladies. The guy loves fair ladies. So, and the lady also is also fair, but to some extent. And one day she asked the man, I know that you love fair ladies, because from our discussions and all that, and the people you have dated in the past, they were all very extremely fair ladies. So how do you cope when you see those kind of people, very fair, elegant and all that? What happens? It was a very difficult question for the man to answer, because at that point he was trying to adjust to some things, and he couldn't answer it. He said yes, he loved fair ladies, but he still, when he sees them, there is a way it triggers him. And now it's a battle that he's been fighting alone inside. All right? But for the lady to now bring up the question, she brought it up in a way, in a loving way, in a polite way, in a way that the man is seeing concern. The man is seeing care. Like, let me know how I can help you. Like, let me know, how, just what I can do so that you will be safe from the triggers and the temptations it brings about and all that. And the man so appreciated that sincerity, that honesty. All right? So they had to now develop how to, some kind of ways to combat, the temptation and all that, with the help of the lady. Self-control. These things they are things that a person has grown with. Maybe somebody that is easily tempted with the opposite sex. Somebody that is easily aroused sexually. Okay? It will not just disappear because the person wants to get married to you, or the person is dating you, suddenly the thing disappears. No. There has to be some kind of discipline you begin to now inculcate, imbibe and all that. So, but you need to know some things, so that if anything happens accidentally or there is a mistake somewhere, you can know how to handle it. But the safest part is to discuss it from the beginning. It is not for you to be nosing around trying to find out who the man is looking at or who the lady is talking to. Some people can be too so they are not comfortable. Your wife is having a long call, probably with a colleague on all that. You are very uncomfortable. You are not settled. You are suspicious. Who is she talking to? Who is talking to her? Why is she smiling on the phone? If you had this discussion, you will be a comfortable person. You will be settled. Be settled in your mind and everything is fine. If you're not, you discuss it. So those times that you usually talk on phone and you're laughing, what used to make you laugh? What is it what can a man tell you or say to you or do for you, and you will just lose guard? Find out. Ask her. What can a man say to you, and you will just trip? Like, what can make you trip for a man? So that he will also know how to help, where to come in. Because when it comes to love, you have to love people the way they want to be loved. Oh, hear me well. You have to love people the way they want to be loved. Because many times people are loving, but they are loving you wrongly. Because you might be a person that loves attention. You want this guy around you all the time. You love to hear gist. You just want the person's presence. But this person is never around you. All he does is to buy flowers and bring, buy clothes and bring, and then disappears. You hardly will see him. You hardly. When you even call on phone, he tells you, I am busy, I'm in the middle of a meeting and all that. So you're looking for him all the time. He's loving you in his heart. He's sending money. He's giving you gifts. But he's not loving you the way you want to be loved. So find out. These things are very, very important. All right? So we talk about behavioral self-control. Do they respect sexual boundaries? We have talked about those ones. Can they manage anger, impulses, and desires? What is their attitude towards other people in a certain situations? How do they behave? How do they handle situations and all that? Maybe emergencies, like I just discussed on in-law visits. Self-control, behavioral self-control. Somebody visits you, an in-law visits you unannounced. How do you cope? How do you handle yourself? If you're a person that has self-control, you will not just now outburst, begin to flare up. You didn't tell me before coming, and this and that, and you're complaining, and you're setting the whole house on fire. You have to find a way to hold yourself together, to handle yourself until that season passes and they go back. So you need to know these things. There is nothing you sweep under the carpet that will be under the carpet forever. Okay? So also now let's look at another virtue, another very important value. Teachability. That is, nobody marries a finished product. Why you are called a husband is you need to constantly nurture and her. Why you are called a bridegroom is that you are the one grooming the bride. So until she becomes a perfect picture of what you want, you keep grooming her. All right, but the question is this person groomable? Teachability and growth mindset. Is this person teachable? Is she a person that can be corrected? Find out. Are they open to correction? Are they open to correction in such a way that things don't escalate beyond what you expected? Do they grow or become defensive when you bring up something and say, see, I noticed this and I noticed that? Is there anywhere we can? And this person now become defensive and escalate the matter and begin to now take it beyond necessary boundaries. Because a teachable partner makes long-term peace and progress possible. The person that is teachable will be able to really cultivate a home, grow a home, nurture a home. But when the person is not teachable, there is always problem. Even when you see something going wrong, you can't talk about it, because the moment you do, problem starts. So are you seeing that these are not things that you will just close your eyes and behave as though they are not there? You close your eyes and behave as though they are not there. When you open your eyes, you will not like what you'll be seeing. So we said the outward content, the packaging is not enough when it comes to building marriages, when it comes to making marriage decisions. It does not just end on how the person looks. Looks are beautiful. Of course, now men are attracted by what they see, women are attracted by what they hear, but it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. So we are talking about contents and the container. The container and the content has to match. When there is a mismatch, you start on time to know what to do. You start on time to know how to address it. You start on time to know exactly right diagnosis and the remedies to bring to ensure lasting peace. You know why? We say it again that marriage is not a casual relationship. Marriage is not a casual relationship. All right? When you get married, especially in a Christian faith, you are coming to enter a covenant with another person. A covenant. If you are a Christian, I am now speaking to people that understand what's the concept of marriage in a Christian faith. You are now coming into a covenant agreement. We are not talking about an agreement. Agreement, you can just tear your agreement and say, okay, I don't agree again. Covenant is different from agreement. Agreement is inside a covenant, but this one is on a higher scale. Number one, marriage is a covenant. Number two, the covenant is made before an altar. You need to know what an altar means. So when you're bringing someone to make a vow before an altar, and now the altar that God himself is supervising or is a witness, it is not just that you called God to witness, you also called other witnesses. That means this marriage is not just between two of you. You called witnesses, people to come and witness that today you have become one. Today you are now, you have agreed to make this journey. You call people to be witnesses, you ask God to be witnesses, and then you enter the marriage and you begin to behave anyhow. You begin to sin against the terms of the marriage. You are looking for trouble. Or in such a way that you get to a point you say, no, I don't want again. Are you going to call all those witnesses and tell them you don't want again? When you were signing the clause and all those things, did you see a place where you said it made provision that when you don't want again, you can go? Was there such provision? So how come you suddenly think that you can play anyhow and then you will go? No. These things need to be understood. You know why we are discussing this? You are still not married. So you have all the time to make that decision. You have all the time to look into these things critically. Look at them and think about it. Is this something I want to do? Because it is not a must. It is not a force. Marriage is never forced. It is not something that is a do or die, except where there is a need to continue, maybe in that family you are the only one remaining, so you need to, so that the family name will not stop and all that. You need to continue that, and all that. Otherwise, it is something that you make the decision to enter. So that is why we are discussing this, that before you enter, know these things. Know these things and know peace. Many people neglect. The Bible says in Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 that people perish for lack of knowledge. People did not perish. Perish means destroyed. That people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Not that people are destroyed because the devil is too much. Not that people are destroyed because the devil is powerful. People are destroyed because they refuse to go for knowledge. They refuse to go for the things that will give them that empowerment, that necessary empowerment to become who they should become, or to do the things that they are supposed to do. This is knowledge that we are talking about now. Go for knowledge. Look for all these things. It didn't end here, but there are other ones. But we have raised the vital ones that you can consider before making your marriage decision. There are other ones that you have to bring into focus before you make that decision. You see, in all these things that we outlined, no one will score 100%. There is no one that you will see that this person scored 100% in all these areas. But what you're saying is that you can watch out for values that are aligned with your own. These values that align with your own, look out for. Does this person have values that aligns with my own value? Because if this person's value is conflicting with your own values, you're already seeing a potential conflict ahead. You are already seeing a potential conflict. So you are also saying this person, are they growing in the right direction? Are we going the right direction? Because that people are moving does not mean that they have the same direction or they are going to the same destination. All right. Also look out for a consistent pattern. This pattern, is it consistent? Because it is consistency that will reveal character. Do they have consistent pattern? If the person tells the truth today, are you certain that this same truth, he will tell the same truth tomorrow? He will say, this is a truthful person. You can say it with all surety that this person is a truthful person. This person is dependable. This person, I can be rest assured that when it comes to this person is it. All right. Consistency reveals character. Don't marry potential. Marry patterns. Patterns. Who has this person been? Who is he becoming? Who has this person been? Who is she becoming? It is that person that she's becoming, right from who she has been. That is what you should be looking out for. When you ignore who she has been and where she is going, then you are ignoring something very vital that might be an issue tomorrow. Potential is who they could become. Patterns are who they already are. Potential is who this person could become. Could become this or he could become that. But pattern is who they already are. They have been and they will be. All right, this is where we're going to draw the curtain in this discussion today. I am sure that you have been helped. You can now make an informed decision when it comes to making marriage choices. Remember, before you say I do, look at all these things that we have discussed in our previous video and in our video today. Subscribe to this channel and share the video with other people, even as you also like it. All right, so that you can always be notified when we come online to bring you a beautiful episode or next series of our discussion that will really affect you in a very good way. I am still your host, Jane Sampson. Remain blessed. Till I see you next time.